Let's get one thing straight from the very beginning. If a woman leaves you and then decides to come back, you are standing at a crossroads that will define your self-respect for years to come. Most men are not ready for that moment. They think her return means victory. They feel their ego wake up, their loneliness calm down, and their mind starts whispering, "She finally realized I was the one." But my friend, that is where a man can lose himself all over again. Because sometimes she does not come back because she suddenly understands your value. Sometimes she comes back because the man she chose disappointed her, the comfort she lost started hurting, and her options no longer felt as exciting as before, or the world outside your presence was colder than she expected. Her return can feel flattering, but it can also be a test. A Stoic man does not rush to open the door just because she knocks again. He breathes, he observes, he asks why. He watches whether her actions carry the same weight as her words. He protects his peace before he protects the fantasy of getting her back. In this video, you will learn what to do when she returns, how to read her intentions, how to hold your boundaries, and how to choose respect over comfort. If you want to stop reacting like a wounded boy and start moving like a grounded man, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Number 1. Don't celebrate her return. Folks, when a woman comes back after leaving you, the worst thing you can do is act like you just won the Super Bowl. I know that sounds harsh, but listen closely. That first rush of excitement can make a grown man forget every lonely night, every unanswered message, every quiet moment when he had to rebuild himself without her. She sends one text saying she misses you, and suddenly his chest opens, his ego stands up, and his mind starts telling him she finally understood my value. But that is not wisdom. That is emotional hunger wearing a nice suit. A Stoic man does not celebrate her return before he understands her reason. He does not throw open the door just because she knocks again. He pauses, he breathes, he watches. He remembers that desire can be sweet, but it can also make a man blind. Her voice may still pull something out of you. Her smile may still hit the part of you that remembers the good nights, the chemistry, the warmth, the way she used to look at you when things were right. But attraction is not evidence. Nostalgia is not proof. And a warm memory is not a guarantee that she has changed. Think about a man named Mark, 52, from Phoenix. His ex, Rachel, 47, left him after telling him she needed space. For 6 months, Mark did what most men hate doing. He sat with the silence. He stopped checking her social media. He got back to his morning walks, spent more time with his brother, and rebuilt the quiet confidence he had lost. Then, one Friday night, Rachel texted him, "I miss you." The old Mark would have cancelled dinner plans, rushed across town, and welcomed her like nothing happened. But the new Mark did something different. He replied, "I hear you. We can talk when the time is right." That response changed everything. It did not insult her. It did not beg her. It did not punish her. It simply showed that his life was no longer sitting by the door waiting for her shadow. Now, understand this. If you celebrate too soon, you give away the frame. You tell her that leaving carried no real consequence. You teach her that she can walk out, test the world, feel lonely, and return to the same open arms without having to explain a thing. That is not love. That is poor leadership of your own life. Your first job is not to be cold. It is to be calm. There is a big difference. Coldness comes from resentment. Calm comes from self-respect. Coldness says, "I want to hurt you back." Calm says, "I will not abandon myself just because you returned." So when she comes back, do not make big announcements. Do not tell your friends she is back, like it proves you were the chosen man. Do not rush into physical closeness just because the spark is still there. Do not confuse her attention with accountability. Let her words land. Then, give yourself room to think. Ask yourself, what has actually changed? What does her behavior show? Is she coming back to build something better? Or is she coming back because life outside your presence became uncomfortable? A king does not hold a parade for someone who once walked out of the castle. He lets them stand at the gate. He listens, he observes. Then he decides if they deserve another step inside. If you understand this, comment below. I guard my peace. Stay with me, because next we will uncover the real reason she came back, and that truth may save you from repeating the same heartbreak again with her once more. Number 2. Ask why she really came back. Folks, once you stop celebrating her return, the next question is the one most men are too afraid to ask. Why did she really come back? Not why do you hope she came back, not why your ego wants to believe she came back. Why now? Why after leaving? Why after silence? Why after another chapter of her life did not go the way she expected? Here is the hard truth. A woman returning does not automatically mean love has returned with her. Sometimes she comes back because loneliness got loud. Sometimes the man she chose did not treat her the way she thought he would. Sometimes her life became unstable, and you represent comfort, safety, attention, money, routine, or emotional warmth. Sometimes she misses the way you made her feel, but not necessarily the responsibility of choosing you properly. A Stoic man does not panic at this truth. He does not become bitter either. He simply refuses to be fooled by the surface. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the foundation here. Her return is an outside event. Your interpretation is where your power lives. If you interpret her return through hunger, you will see romance where there may only be convenience. If you interpret it through discipline, you will ask better questions. Do not ask only, "Do you miss me?" That question feeds your ego. Ask, "What changed?" Ask, "Why are you reaching out now?" Ask, "What do you understand today that you did not understand when you left?" Then listen, not just to her answer, but to her ownership. Does she speak with humility, or does she decorate the past with excuses? Does she admit the damage, or does she make it sound like life simply happened to her? Does she talk about rebuilding trust, or does she only talk about how lonely she has been? Listen closely, folks. A woman who truly wants to return with maturity will not be offended by honest questions. She may feel uncomfortable, but she will understand why those questions matter. A woman who only wants easy access will get irritated when you slow things down. That irritation tells you more than her sweet words ever could. This is where many men betray themselves. They hear "I miss you," and their chest softens. They hear "I made a mistake," and their standards vanish. They hear "I have been thinking about you," and suddenly they stop thinking clearly. But missing you is not the same as respecting you. Regret is not the same as growth. Desire is not the same as commitment. Epictetus taught that we should not be disturbed by things themselves, but by the views we take of them. So look at her return correctly. Do not turn it into a fairy tale before you have evidence. Treat it like information. She came back. Good. Now find out why. If the reason is rooted in accountability, patience, and real willingness to rebuild, then there may be something worth considering. If the reason is boredom, fear, failed options, or comfort, then you are not being chosen. You are being used as shelter from a storm she created. And let me be clear, asking why is not weakness, it is masculine clarity. It shows you are not a man who can be pulled back by a soft voice and familiar perfume. You are a man who requires truth before access. That kind of composure is rare, and rare men are respected. If this hits home, write this in the comments. I seek the truth. Stick with me, because next we will talk about why her words are not enough and how her actions reveal what she truly really wants. Number 3. Test her actions, not her words. Folks, words are easy when someone wants the door opened again. A woman can come back with a soft voice, a beautiful apology, and the exact sentence your heart has been waiting to hear. She can say she changed. She can say she finally sees your value. She can say life without you felt empty. And those words may hit you in the chest because part of you wanted to hear them. But listen closely. Words create heat. Actions create truth. The mistake most men make is treating a confession like a transformation. She says the right thing and suddenly he forgets the nights she disappeared, the disrespect, the confusion, the way he had to rebuild himself after she walked away. He wants the speech to be enough because believing it feels good. But feeling good is not the same as being safe. Attraction can pull you back into her orbit, but evidence tells you whether that orbit will destroy your peace. Think about David, 51. His ex Monica, 46, came back after a year. She told him she was sorry. She told him she had grown. She even said, "I did not know what I had until I lost you." The old David would have melted. He would have invited her over opened wine and acted like the pain had been erased. But this time he watched. When Monica said she wanted to rebuild, David looked for consistency. Did she show up when she said she would? Did she respect his schedule? Did she ask about the hurt she caused, or only talk about how lonely she felt? Did she stay calm when David moved slowly, or pressure him to rush back into closeness? That is how a man tests intentions without playing games. He gives reality room to speak. Testing her actions does not mean you become suspicious, bitter, or cruel. It means you stop handing trust away like a free sample at the store. Trust is not a welcome mat. Trust is a bridge. And if she burned that bridge when she left, she does not get to sprint across it the moment she returns. She helps rebuild it plank by plank through behavior. If she says she respects you, watch how she reacts when you say no. If she says she is committed, watch whether she makes real effort when things are inconvenient. If she says she understands your worth, watch whether she treats your time, peace, and boundaries as valuable. Her real intention will show up when she does not get instant access to the old version of you. Here is where the Stoic mindset matters. You do not need to argue with her promises. You simply observe whether her life matches them. You let time do what emotions cannot do. Time exposes performance. Time reveals patterns. Time separates a woman who misses your comfort from a woman who is ready to respect your value. And folks, pay attention to how she behaves when the excitement fades. Anyone can act passionate during a reunion. Anyone can be sweet when afraid of losing. But what happens after a few weeks? Does she still show patience? Does she still take responsibility? Does she still choose you with maturity when the fantasy gets quiet? That is the true test. Not her tears, not her charm, not the way she looks at you when she wants back in. Her actions will tell you whether she came back with love or because you were familiar, safe, and available. If this makes sense, comment this below. I watch actions. Don't go anywhere, because next we will talk about why instant forgiveness can destroy the respect you work to rebuild. Number 4. Don't give instant forgiveness. Folks, instant forgiveness may look noble on the outside, but many times it is just fear wearing a good man's clothes. A woman comes back, her eyes soften, her voice shakes. She says she is sorry, and suddenly a man wants to erase everything. The disrespect, the distance, the nights he sat alone, wondering why he was not enough. The moment she walked away, like his heart was something she could set down and pick back up later. Listen closely. Forgiveness is powerful, but cheap forgiveness is dangerous. If you forgive her the second she returns, before accountability, before consistency, before real change, you teach her something without saying a word. You teach her that your pain has no price. You teach her that she can leave, return, cry, say the right sentence, and receive full access again. That does not build love. That builds a pattern where your boundaries become decoration. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." That matters here. You are not refusing instant forgiveness because you want revenge. You are refusing it because you refuse to become careless with your own dignity. You do not need to punish her. You do not need to make her suffer, but you also do not need to protect her from the consequences of what she chose. Here is the hard truth, folks. A lot of men forgive quickly because they are afraid that if they do not, she will leave again. So they swallow the hurt. They smile too soon. They act mature while quietly betraying themselves. But that is not maturity. That is panic. Real maturity can say, "I hear your apology, but trust will take time." Real strength can accept her regret without immediately handing her the keys to your peace. Forgiveness should not be a button she presses. It should be a road she walks. If she truly understands what she did, she will not demand that you move on in 5 minutes. She will not rush your healing just because her guilt feels uncomfortable. She will understand that trust was damaged, and damaged trust needs patience, proof, humility, and repetition. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." If you say you are a man of self-respect, then you must do what self-respect requires, even when her return feels warm. You must hold the line. You must let time reveal whether her apology is a moment or a mindset. And folks, if these lessons are helping you stand stronger in situations like this, consider joining the channel membership. Your support helps this community grow and gives you a place with men who are learning to choose principles over panic, dignity over desperation, and calm over confusion. Now, understand this. Delayed forgiveness is not bitterness. It is wisdom. Bitterness wants to hurt her back. Wisdom wants to protect the future. Bitterness keeps score. Wisdom watches patterns. Bitterness says, "You hurt me, so now I will hurt you." Wisdom says, "You hurt me, so now I need to see who you really are before I trust you again." Do not let chemistry rush you. Do not let loneliness bargain with your standards. Do not let her tears become a shortcut around accountability. If she has truly changed, time will not scare her. Patience will not offend her. Boundaries will not make her run. They will give her the chance to show that her return is serious. And that patience may be the very thing that saves your life later. If this speaks to you, write this in the comments. I forgive wisely. Stay tuned, because next we will talk about why access to you must be earned back, not handed over for free. Number 5. Make her earn back access. Folks, access to you is not a public sidewalk. It is not something a woman gets to walk back into just because she suddenly misses the warmth, the attention, or the comfort you used to provide. When she left, she did not just leave a relationship. She stepped away from your time, your loyalty, your presence, your emotional safety, and the quiet masculine strength she once leaned on. Those things have value, and valuable things are not handed back for free. Here is the hard truth. Most men fail right here. She comes back and they immediately become available again. They answer every call. They reply in seconds. They cancel plans. They rearrange their weekends. They open the same door she once walked out of, then wonder why she does not respect the house. Listen closely. When you give instant access, you teach her that leaving had no cost. You teach her that your life stops when she returns. You teach her that she can disappear, explore other options, feel disappointed, get lonely, and still find you standing there like a warm porch light she can turn on whenever she wants. That is not devotion. That is poor protection of your own peace. Think about Robert, 54, from Denver. His ex Angela, 49, came back after 8 months. She called him on a Thursday night and said she wanted to see him immediately. The old Robert would have thrown on a jacket, cancelled dinner with his daughter, and rushed across town because the chemistry with Angela still pulled at him. But this time, he stayed calm. He told her, "I already have plans tonight. If you are serious, we can talk this weekend." That one sentence showed more strength than a long speech ever could. He did not insult her. He did not punish her. He did not act bitter. He simply made it clear that his life was no longer built around her sudden emotional needs. Now understand this, folks. Making her earn access does not mean making her beg. It does not mean playing cruel little games or pretending you do not care when you do. It means your time, attention, affection, and closeness must match her level of responsibility. If she wants to return, she must show patience. She must respect your pace. She must prove she is not just looking for comfort after the world outside you felt colder than expected. Your access has layers. A text conversation is one layer. A phone call is another. A private dinner is another. Emotional vulnerability is deeper. Physical closeness is deeper still. Do not hand her the deepest parts of you just because she knocks again with soft words and familiar eyes. Let her earn each layer through consistency. A man with self-respect is the gatekeeper of his own peace. He decides who enters, how close they get, and what behavior is required to stay. If she gets frustrated because you are not instantly available, that frustration is information. If she respects the process, that is information too. Either way, you win because you are no longer guessing, you are observing. And remember, if she is serious, effort will not offend her. Patience will not scare her. Boundaries will not push her away. They will show whether she came back for you or for the easy access she lost. So do not roll out the red carpet. Open the gate slowly. Let her actions carry the key. If you understand this, comment below. I control access. Let's keep going, because next we will break down the old patterns that can pull you right back into the same ending if you are not careful with your peace again. Number 6. Don't fall into old patterns. Folks, when a woman comes back, the danger is not always in the reunion itself. The danger is how quickly you start acting like the old version of you. Same habits, same reactions, same desperate rhythm, same need to keep the peace at the cost of your own peace. And before you know it, you are not rebuilding a relationship. You are replaying the same movie with the same ending. Here is the hard truth. Familiar does not mean fixed. Comfortable does not mean healthy. Just because it feels like old times does not mean anything has actually changed. In fact, old comfort is one of the most seductive traps a man can fall into, especially when there is still attraction, history, and chemistry between you. She comes back and suddenly you start texting her first thing in the morning again. You answer faster than you should. You explain yourself too much. You cancel your plans. You stop seeing your friends. You let your goals slide. You slowly move her back to the center of your life, and you tell yourself, this time will be different. But nothing is different if you are still the same man, inside the same pattern. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Think about that, folks. If your thoughts are still colored by fear of losing her, then your actions will follow that fear. If your thoughts are still colored by hunger for her approval, you will start bending again. If your mind is still tied to the old script, your behavior will return to the old role. You cannot build a stronger connection on weak habits. You cannot create a new dynamic while using the old tools that broke the last one. If you used to chase when she pulled back, stop chasing. If you used to over-explain to avoid conflict, stop explaining your value like a salesman. If you used to become too available because you were afraid she would disappear, stop treating her presence like oxygen. Now, understand this. A woman returning should not make you abandon the life you built while she was gone. Your routines matter, your fitness matters, your work matters, your male friendships matter, your quiet mornings matter, your purpose matters. These are not things you pause because she suddenly wants access again. They are the foundation that keeps you grounded, attractive, and respected. The Stoic man does not let emotion erase structure. He welcomes nothing back into his life that destroys his discipline. He can care for a woman, enjoy her company, feel desire, and still keep his center. That is the difference between a man with a heart and a man without a spine. You can be warm without being weak. You can be open without becoming dependent. You can give attention without handing over control. So when she comes back, do not rush into the old routine. Slow it down. Watch the rhythm. Keep your standards visible. Let the relationship grow on new terms, new boundaries, new pace, new expectations, new consequences, and most importantly, a new version of you who no longer panics when her mood changes. Because if you fall into old patterns, history will not feel sorry for you. It will repeat itself. Same softness, same overgiving, same disappointment, same goodbye. But if you stay awake, stay disciplined, and refuse to return to the man she left, then her return becomes a test you can pass instead of a trap you walk into. That is strength. If this opened your eyes, comment below. I break patterns. Stay with me, because next we will talk about why respect must come before comfort, even when her presence still feels good. Number 7. Watch how she handles boundaries. Folks, a woman's reaction to your boundaries will tell you more than her apology ever will. When she comes back after leaving you, do not only listen to the sweet words. Watch what happens when you slow things down. Watch what happens when you are not available the moment she wants you. Watch what happens when you say, "I need time," instead of saying, "Come over tonight." That moment reveals everything. Here is the hard truth. Anyone can be soft when they are trying to get back in. Anyone can sound humble when access is uncertain. But the real test comes when your boundaries make her uncomfortable. Does she respect them, or does she treat them like an insult? Does she understand that trust needs time, or does she pressure you to act like the past never happened? Does she honor your pace, or does she try to pull you back into the old version of yourself? Think about Michael, 57, from Chicago. His ex, Laura, 52, came back after a year. She told him she missed their connection, their talks, and the chemistry they used to have. Michael felt something for her. He was not pretending to be made of stone. But this time he told her, "I am open to talking, but I am not ready to jump back into anything physical or emotional right away." That was the boundary. At first, Laura smiled and said she understood. But days later she started pushing. She asked why he was being so guarded. She said he was making things harder than needed. She even joked that if he really cared, he would not make her wait. The old Michael might have folded. He might have confused her pressure with passion. But this time he saw the truth. She did not want to rebuild slowly. She wanted the comfort of old access without earning new trust. That is why boundaries are so powerful, folks. They do not just protect you, they reveal her. A boundary is not a wall built out of bitterness. It is a gate built from self-respect. You are not saying, "I hate you." You are saying, "I value my peace enough to control who gets close to it." And if she is serious, she will not punish you for that. She may not love the waiting. She may feel uncomfortable, but she will respect the process because she understands she is the one who left. Now, understand this. If she gets angry because you are careful, that anger is information. If she makes you feel guilty for protecting yourself, that guilt trip is information. If she tries to rush emotional closeness, physical closeness, or constant communication before trust is restored, that rush is information. Do not ignore it just because her presence still affects you. A grounded man does not use boundaries to control a woman. He uses boundaries to control himself. He decides what he will allow, what he will not allow, and what kind of treatment can enter his life again. That is not weakness. That is leadership. And folks, this is where attraction becomes mature. A woman may desire the man who is warm, but she respects the man who has limits. If she can return and still find no edge, no standard, no consequence, then she will not feel your strength. But if she meets a man who is calm, kind, and firm, she knows she is dealing with someone different. So watch her when your boundary stands. If this part hit home, comment below. I hold boundaries. Let's keep going, because next we will talk about how to keep your power even when the chemistry starts pulling you back. Number 8. Keep your power after chemistry returns. Folks, chemistry is dangerous because it feels like proof. She comes back, the eye contact returns, the old smile returns, the familiar pull returns, and suddenly your body starts remembering what your mind worked hard to survive. That is where many men lose their frame. They do not lose it through logic. They lose it through warmth, attraction, touch, memory, and the sweet illusion that desire means everything has been repaired. Here is the hard truth. Chemistry can come back faster than trust. Attraction can return before accountability. Physical closeness can feel alive while the foundation underneath is still cracked. If you do not understand that, you will let a moment of heat drag you back into a situation that still has no structure, no clarity, and no real change. Seneca said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That quote matters here, folks, because the moment chemistry controls your decisions, you are no longer leading yourself. You are being pulled. You are reacting to the strongest feeling in the room instead of the deepest principle in your life. Now understand this. You can feel chemistry and still move slowly. You can want her and still protect your peace. You can enjoy the spark and still ask yourself, has she earned this closeness again? That is not weakness. That is masculine discipline. A grown man does not have to pretend he feels nothing. He simply refuses to let desire drive the car while wisdom sits in the trunk. When she returns and the energy feels familiar, do not confuse emotional electricity with emotional safety. A woman may still know how to speak to the part of you that misses her. She may still know the look, the tone, the softness, the little gestures that once made you lower your guard. But if the same problems remain underneath, then chemistry becomes a beautiful distraction from an ugly pattern. This is why you slow down. Not because you are afraid, not because you want to punish her. You slow down because speed hides truth. When things move too fast, you stop observing. You stop asking questions. You stop checking whether her actions match her promises. You start choosing the feeling over the facts. And that is how a man walks right back into pain with his eyes open. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her beauty, her attention, her return, her softness, those are outside events. Your discipline is yours. Your standards are yours. Your pace is yours. If she truly respects you, she will not need you to lose control to prove you care. She will respect the man who can feel the pull and still choose patience. Folks, this is where real power looks calm. You do not need to act cold. You do not need to shame her. You do not need to deny the attraction. You just need to remain the man who decides from self-respect, not from hunger. Let chemistry be present, but do not let it become the judge. The judge must be consistency, accountability, humility, and time. Because if you let chemistry take the lead, comfort will feel like love, desire will feel like proof, and the past will dress itself up as a second chance. But if you keep your power, you can enjoy the spark without handing over your standards. That is the difference between a man who is tempted and a man who is truly mastered when desire gets loud. If this speaks to you, comment below. I keep control. Don't go anywhere, because next we will talk about why respect must come before comfort, even when walking away feels harder than staying. Number 9. Choose respect over comfort. Folks, comfort can feel like love when you have been lonely long enough. When a woman comes back after leaving you, she may bring the old warmth with her. The familiar laugh, the easy conversation, the quiet closeness, the feeling of having someone beside you again. And for a man who has spent months holding himself together, that comfort can hit harder than whiskey on an empty stomach. But here is the hard truth. Comfort is not always a blessing. Sometimes comfort is bait. A woman can return and make your life feel softer, but softness is not the same as respect. She can sit across from you at dinner, smile, the way she used to touch your arm, talk about memories, and make you feel like the pain was worth it. But if she still avoids accountability, still expects easy access, still treats your boundaries like an inconvenience, then what you are feeling is not restoration, it is temptation. Think about James, 58, from Nashville. His ex Karen, 53, came back. She invited him to a quiet dinner, wore the perfume he remembered, and talked about the trips, the Sunday mornings, the music they played in the kitchen. James felt the pull. He missed that softness. He missed being wanted. But during the conversation, Karen never once took responsibility for leaving him confused. She kept saying things got complicated, as if the pain had happened by accident. The old James would have accepted the comfort and ignored the missing respect. But this time, he listened differently. He realized she wanted the feeling of being close again without doing the work of becoming trustworthy again. So he did something difficult. He finished dinner, thanked her for the conversation, and went home alone with his dignity intact. That is not weakness, folks. That is command. Now understand this. Respect is harder to rebuild than comfort. Comfort can return in one evening. Respect takes consistency. Comfort can show up in a soft voice. Respect shows up in changed behavior. Comfort asks you to forget what happened. Respect proves the past has been understood. A Stoic man knows that short-term relief can become long-term regret if it costs him his principles. He would rather sleep alone in peace than lie beside a woman who still does not honor him. He would rather feel temporary loneliness than permanent self-betrayal. That is the kind of strength most men talk about, but few men practice when she returns. And yes, desire matters, chemistry matters, companionship matters. A man is not made of stone, but no amount of attraction is worth the slow death of your self-respect. If being with her requires you to pretend the damage was small, stay silent about your standards, or shrink your boundaries to keep her comfortable, then you are not choosing love. You are choosing fear, dressed as romance. Respect over comfort means you are willing to say, I enjoy your presence, but I will not abandon myself for it. It means you can appreciate the memories without being owned by them. It means you can feel the pull and still ask, does this woman honor the man I have become? If the answer is no, comfort is not enough. Let it hurt. Let it be quiet. Let the old desire pass through you without becoming your master. Because once you lose respect for yourself, it does not matter who comes back. You have already walked away from the one person you were never supposed to betray. If this truth landed, comment below. I choose respect. Stay tuned, because next we will close this with the strongest move a man can make when her return still threatens his peace. Number 10. Be ready to let her leave again. Folks, the strongest man is not the man who gets her back. It is the man who can lose her again and still remain whole. That is the part most men do not prepare for. They prepare for the conversation. They prepare for the apology. They prepare for romance returning. But they do not prepare for the possibility that after the sweet words, after the promises, after the old chemistry comes back, she may still leave again. And if you are not ready for that, she still owns a part of you. Here is the hard truth. If your peace depends on her staying this time, then you are not making a decision from strength. You are negotiating from fear. You are hoping that if you move carefully enough, forgive fast enough, stay attractive enough, say the right thing enough, she will finally choose you. But that mindset puts your dignity in her hands. A Stoic man does not live that way. Epictetus taught that some things are within our control and others are not. Her choice to stay is not fully within your control. Her maturity is not fully within your control. Her ability to value what she once left is not fully within your control. What is in your control is your standard, your response, your pace, your self-respect, and your willingness to walk away if the same pattern returns. When a woman senses that you are terrified of losing her, the dynamic shifts. You become careful in the wrong way. You soften your boundaries. You ignore small signs. You excuse behavior that bothers you. You laugh off disrespect because you do not want to ruin the mood. You say, maybe I am overthinking, when deep down your gut is telling you the old pattern is knocking again. But when you are ready to let her leave again, you stop performing. You stop managing her emotions like a full-time job. You stop treating her presence like oxygen. You become calm, clear, and magnetic because you are not clinging. You can enjoy her return without worshipping it. You can care without begging. You can offer connection without surrendering command over your own life. Now understand this, folks. Being ready to let her leave does not mean you want her to leave. It does not mean you are cold, bitter, or planning an escape. It means you are honest enough to accept reality. A relationship only works when both people choose it with maturity. If she returns but refuses responsibility, if she pushes past your boundaries, if she wants the benefits of your presence without the discipline of rebuilding trust, then you must be willing to let the door close again. That is not losing, that is leadership. Sometimes the second exit is the clearest answer you will ever receive. The first time she left you may have been confused. The second time, if the same signs appear, you know exactly what you are looking at. Do not romanticize the lesson. Do not call it destiny when it is really repetition. Do not call it love when it keeps asking you to betray yourself. A man with self-respect does not beg reality to become softer. He faces it. If she stays with accountability, patience, and real change, observe it. If she leaves again because you will not become easy access, let her go. Your life cannot be built around keeping a woman who only stays when your boundaries disappear. Remember this, the goal is not to make her stay. The goal is to remain a man you respect, whether she stays or leaves, with your peace intact. If this truth belongs to you, comment below. I stay ready. Folks, if there is one thing you take from this video, let it be this. Her return is not automatically your victory. It is a test of your self-respect, your patience, your boundaries, and your ability to choose principle over emotion. You learned why you should not celebrate too soon, why her real reason matters, why actions speak louder than words, why forgiveness takes time, and why access to your life must be earned again. Most importantly, you learned that comfort is never worth losing respect for yourself. If these lessons helped you stand stronger, consider joining the channel membership. Your support helps this community grow and allows us to keep creating deeper lessons for men who choose dignity over desperation. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Stoic relationship wisdom. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow.